Welcome to Lemoore City Council Chambers located at 429 C Street. This is the February 17th meeting. Please silence all electronic devices as a courtesy to those in attendance. Thank you. If you could please stand for the invocation given by Pastor Aaron Ash. Why do I keep doing that? From Lifeway Church. I know. I made a joke and now I can't stop. And please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's bow our heads and close our eyes for a moment of reverence to the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to be in your presence, Father. We thank you that you are here. Lord, we pray that you sensitize us to your will and to your voice and give us courage to be obedient. And we pray for a blessing upon all that takes place, everything that is done in your name. And we pray these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and all God's people said. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Councilmember Brewster.
Here.
Councilmember Lyons.
Present.
Councilmember Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gornick.
Here.
Mayor Matthews.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda approval, additions and or deletions.
I just have one change. Item 4-2 should state approval, reject all bids received for completion of wells 7 and 11 TTHM project. The staff report and everything remains the same. It's just the title of that item.
Thank you. We're gonna have two public comment sessions tonight. So we'll go ahead and open up the first public comment session. If there's any public comment at this time, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council. Very up close to you.
I know. It's like I can high five you.
I'll have to talk a little quieter. Now, I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of a couple different hats I wear. First off, with the Rotary Club of Lemoore, we have some incredibly exciting news for the community. First and foremost, we recently had Kings County First Five come to our club meeting. They gave an excellent presentation on Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And for those who may not be familiar, that's a program where children ages 0 to 5 can get a free book every month delivered to your home, whether it's bilingual, English, Spanish, etc. It's just really customized for that age group and really promotes literacy, which is part of our mission at the Rotary Club of Lemoore. And in support of that incredible effort, we previously had at the Easter egg hunt, we were signing up families for that program. And to continue that commitment, we are donating $5,000 to help support that initiative further. Another big contribution we are making is in support of a food drive that we're going to be doing. If you go to LemoreRotaryClub.org, you'll see it up. It'll be on social media soon. But on April 11th, that's a Saturday, 10 to 12, we'll be doing a food pantry drive for Lemoore Christian Aid, an incredible community partner that serves countless families, not just here in Lemoore, but across Kings County as far as Avenal. And it's really an incredible opportunity because we'll be matching donations up to $5,000. So if you want to make a cash donation, every single dollar you put in, we put in a dollar as well, up to $5,000. So it's really a good way to maximize your reach and your impact. And we'll also be accepting physical non-perishable food items on Saturday. It'll be at Grocery Outlet, an incredible community partner and business. We want to make sure that we're shopping local. And not only that, but we're going to have some different vendors out there that are going to have some family resources, etc. And I'm still working on the fire trucks. Outside of that, speaking of the fire department, I had the great privilege and honor to join our mayor and other community members to visit the burn center in Fresno. And this is especially notable because it's the only burn center in the immediate local area. The closest ones are Sacramento or Los Angeles that treat both pediatric and adult victims. And this is really eye-opening and in some ways heartbreaking for me to witness, not only as someone who's exposed to burn risk as a firefighter, but as someone who cares deeply and passionately about this issue. So I'm incredibly excited that our golf tournament is going to be successful. So far, we've donated as an association $172,000. This is something that former Chief Bruce, retired Chief Bruce, was working on very diligently. And we're really excited for our upcoming golf tournament on April 27th. There's so many more good news to share, but I want to respect the public comment time allotments. And I just deeply appreciate this council, this community, and this nation for its continued support and partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? See none, we'll go ahead and go on to studies, ceremonial presentation, sorry. We have item 1-1, Employee of the Month, Isaiah Gonzalez, January 2026.
Good evening, council, city manager, everyone. I want to take a moment to highlight Isaiah Gonzalez, who will recognize him as Employee of the Month. Isaiah has been with the Maintenance Division since June 10, 2024, and he's really been doing an outstanding job. It demonstrates outstanding initiative by stepping in across all 3 departments that we cover in our division, which has been invaluable to our daily operations. One thing that really stood out with me was the fact that you learned how to troubleshoot, fix electrical on our streetlights very quickly. You picked it up so quick, it was amazing. I can send him out and he can pretty much take care of it, no problem. He's been a huge help to our department and we truly appreciate the effort he puts in the daily and the day after day. Your desire to learn everything possible, to learn everything possible shows. We appreciate all you do and this award is well deserved. Okay.
You got a
Just wanna
speech?
say, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the maintenance division, groundskeeping division. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And thanks for everybody for recognizing. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
We have a certificate to give you as well as a photo opportunity.
Come on. Come on.
No, it's coming out surprise. Which way we're going?
Isaiah, I just wanted to say congratulations. We really appreciate everything that you do. As stated in the nomination form, like we can always tell where you've been. Like everything's perfectly clean, it smells good, it looks good. And you don't have to be asked to do anything. Like you see something that needs to be done and you take the initiative to do it. And we all really appreciate that. And everything that you do to step up and help.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now we'll go ahead and go on to study session, item 2-1, ordinance review pertaining to animal control regulations. Chief Kendall.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight I'll give you a, kind of a broad overview of our current animal control policy. It's 15 pages long, so I'm going to try to cut it down as much as I can. Every person who owns a dog in the city is required to obtain a license. Any dog found running at large or otherwise unlicensed is impounded by our animal control officer until the dog is properly licensed. There are no exemptions to this, or the only exemptions to this pertains to the licensing fees, and that only comes into the equation when the dog is a guide dog, retired military dog, or used in law enforcement. The current LMC directs animal control to implant a microchip into any impounded dog or cat, and any dog or cat impounded must first be spayed or neutered prior to it being released, if not done so already. It is unlawful to breed any cat or dog for profit unless a breeder's permit has been obtained, as well as owning and operating a kennel. You need a kennel license. To date, we don't have any breeder's permits or kennel permits issued out through the department. The animal control officer has the authority to impound a dog or Other animal where there's evidence it is attacked, bitten, or injured any human being or other animal pending any court dog license or animal permit revocation proceeding arising from the attack, bite, or injury. So anytime we get dispatched out to an animal bite incident, we impound and or quarantine the dog. Try to make those arrangements with the homeowner or with the dog owner. A person who owns a dog or other animal who permits, allows, or causes the dog or other animal to be at large is guilty of a misdemeanor. If said dog or other animal bites, attacks, or causes injury, it's an infraction, and it's also an infraction to allow the dog to run at large. The penal code, the California Penal Code specifically requires us, the department, to provide care to any animal that is sick or injured. And then I wanted to point out section 51-77. The second paragraph reads, any animal except cats permitted to be at large or trespassing upon private premises or public property in violation of this section shall be deemed to be under the control of the owner and declared to be a public nuisance and a menace to public safety, public health and safety. So it currently makes an exception for cats. The next line reads, owners shall exercise proper care and control of their animals except cats and will prevent them from becoming a public nuisance. So as with any ordinance that I bring you, I am not emotionally attached to it. Whatever changes you want to make, I will do so and bring it forward. But again, that was trying to summarize about 15 pages.
Do you have a suggestion?
No.
Long Beach has a requirement for cats as well. Would you be willing to take a look at that and see how they?
I can take a look at Long Beach's and
Yeah.
I can bring it to you.
Let's see if it's worth. I guess the other question I have is, what kind of revenue do we get off of dog licenses? Nothing at all. Not a lot. So I guess I wonder, why are we even charging people for it? I mean, if we,
That's it's $15. A lot of times, I mean, all the time, if we impound one and it's not unlicensed, we make them license it. We have to microchip it. We obviously want to recover the cost to microchip those animals. And then a lot of times they're habitual offenders, right? It's the same dog getting out. And we know that
I've got
dog.
a dog in our neighborhood and I know everybody feeds him and he chases our cars and he's just a good old mutt. I mean,
Right.
he has no tag on him. You can't grab him, nothing. And I know every once in a while I see a paper plate out on someone's lawn somewhere. Somebody's feeding him,
Right.
I mean, he's not harming anybody, but I guess we're not. If the goal is for us to license animals, both cats and even with the microchip, if we catch them and they don't, then I could see, we might fine them. But anyway, explore how Long Beach implements it and see what they do.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I just don't see why we should discriminate against dogs.
The accept cats portion, that's not a state law, that's just our order.
That's just what we.
That's how the ordinance reads.
Okay, gotcha.
And I would concede most cities are like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think Vermont's the only state, or Rhode Island has statewide for both. Yeah.
If you've looked at social media posts or comments lately, this is a huge problem in our city. And I was just made aware today that apparently we're a little bit TikTok famous, that this is a deterrent for people to move here, is the cat issue. Somebody just told me that today. I'm not really on TikTok, so I'm not sure, but
I am not.
I'm sure somebody will verify for me if that's accurate or not, but it was interesting to hear that. but I know that it seems the community is frustrated. So I would like us to look at what more we could do to maybe help encourage people to be better pet parents and responsible.
And that was my point of if we approach it that way and not charge them to get licensed, so we know if we find them, but require them to go out and prove that they've got a chip or something like that once they're licensed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not trying to make money off it. We're trying to.
It's not a huge cost. I think I have
Yeah.
like $1,500 budgeted for microchips every year.
Yeah. I mean,
Do we use that amount of money?
Yeah, we do.
so, I mean, it's kind of like what we do for busted up concrete. You know, we got some money in the budget to help fix that. So,
Are there any grants or anything available to help with that?
I haven't seen any. I've never come across any.
Where's the problem area that you were made aware today?
Well, I can say that my neighborhood is an issue. I know on the east side of Lemoore Avenue over there in my district is also an issue. We had some people not that long ago come from that area and speak during public comment about the issue over there.
I know behind Save Martin Tractor Supply.
Yeah, that too. And behind Best Buy. There's a lot of areas apparently, if you look at the social media comments of just cat populations kind of running wild. And honestly, it doesn't even seem like it's pet owners. Maybe some of them are, but
that's
it's
just
kind of the,
I think a lot of it's feral cats.
yeah.
real good, you know.
Weren't we, so wasn't someone saying something about birth control cat food, or was that bird?
Yeah, that was
food?
No, it was
That
bird.
was pigeons. I already looked to see if there was an option for cats and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah,
Can we feed cats bird food? Oh, no.
not effective.
You know, just a story about feral cats. When we were planning the college, and we had to go to Fish and Game to get a clearance for that site. And we had to go to Fresno at the Fish and Game office to do that. And Fish and Game, the person who was in charge of Fish and Game at that time, not Fresno, was vehemently opposed to the site because it would attract more feral cats, and she was opposed to feral cats because they were a danger to Audubon, to birds. And I never knew that, but you know, that was her approach, that she had gotten more complaints about out in that area.
Yeah, there's not a lot of feral cats out there at the college.
I don't think so. No.
There isn't.
Yeah.
They're all in my district. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
good.
There's a bunch. Are there any, I think I looked into this prior, and I think because we don't provide the service, we can't really apply for grants for spay and neuter. Is that correct? Or not spay and neuter, like TNR?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I will say from my knowledge, we had several revisions to the animal ordinance in Coalinga when I was there. And we had someone from the San Francisco SPCA come out to recommend best practices for the ordinance change. And most communities have citizen groups that organize TNRs. I don't know if Lemoore has one. Coalinga does have a group of citizens that work alongside each other to do something. And there's the SNP bus that comes out of Fresno. And so I don't know if that's something that somebody would be interested in doing here. To my knowledge, it hasn't generally been the cities. It's been a group of citizens who come together to organize it, or a nonprofit organization.
I did try to contact the SNP bus. They didn't really get back to me. They told me I could call Monterey County or Kern County to see when they were holding, it was like an automated message to see when they were holding clinics there. And then I messaged them again asking about Kings County or the surrounding area. Still haven't heard anything. That's several days ago. So I'm not really sure. I know there used to be like something, this is probably not what it's called, but it's something like Friends of Kings County Animal Control or something like that, that used to do TNR in the area. But they haven't been active that I've seen on social media for quite some time. And then now I don't know if now that we're no longer contracting with Kings County for animal control services, I don't even know if that would be something that we could utilize here. I'm not sure, but definitely need to do some more research there and see what is available. But I know in my area a few years ago, we did TNR ourselves just because of the huge problem. And I just hoped I didn't catch somebody's pet. And I mean, I'm glad that I fixed it if it's running around, but then they get their little ear kind of cut. And that makes you a little bit sad, or makes me sad, probably not you guys, but so I don't know. I was just hoping I didn't take somebody's pet, but we did several cats like that, and it did help with the population for quite a while, actually, a few years. But now seems like we're back to square one and then some. It's very expensive to do it on your own. So I don't know what type of programs are out there. Hopefully this conversation maybe will get some people to the table and we can see what there is available.
Just one more thought, you know, maybe if we gave people the option that show us proof of microchip and you don't have to license. Because that's really the intent of the license, right?
Sure.
Is that we know who the
We
owner
can
is.
track down the owner when something
So,
happens.
you know, it's kind of like it's something good for your animal. It's not something we're trying to do, but we know who it is, man. I don't know. See what
I'm not opposed to it.
that way the cost is on them,
Mhm.
or they would have to do. Just a thought.
Any other comments, questions, or concerns from council? Y'all are pretty quiet over there. You must live in neighborhoods that don't have an issue.
There's cats everywhere. Have chickens on them.
Oh. That's a whole other ballgame there.
Oh, give me hints.
It crosses the road.
Why did it cross the road?
Yeah.
Are there any public comment? Is there any public comment on this item?
Thanks, Chief.
Madam Mayor, City Council, just to give you a heads up, for those of you that have never been out to the base too much or been around the base for a long period of time, cats are not a local to Lemoore issue. It is actually an issue throughout the base as well. We see them all the time around the barracks and housing. A lot of the cats in housing get released because sailors get ready to transfer and kids don't want to take their cats, so they just let them go outside. So just a heads up, even if we get the town taken care of, it's going to be a consistent problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew this problem was related to the base.
Did you say that, Councilman? It was related to that. Are you on the record of saying?
They had something to do with it.
Any other public comment on this item? Seeing none. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we'll have our other public comment. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This item is reserved for members of the audience to address the city council on items of interest that are on the agenda, are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. It is recommended that speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the council, any handouts for council will be provided to the city clerk for distribution to the council and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the mayor opens the item to the public. Is there any other public comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to department and city manager reports.
Thank you. I just have a few. I wanted to make sure that the public is aware that we have our first Flight Fest event, March 20th through the 22nd, which will be on East Street downtown. It's basically the after party for the Blue Angels Air Show. So what we're hoping is people come into the community to attend the air show. And then once the air show is complete, they come downtown and we will have live music and vendors. I think the Kings Lions is going to do a beer garden. The movie theater is going to show some old era-related movies. And so it'll be a fun event downtown. The city's also co-hosting Golden Evening Under the Stars, April 11th at Lemoore College. That is benefiting the Golden Nest and Lemoore Christian Aid to provide food and hygiene assistance to college students and those in need in our community. And then lastly, the Lemoore Volunteer Golf Tournament, Lemoore Volunteer Firefighters Golf Tournament is April 27th. So if you are interested in being a sponsor or signing up a team, you can contact the fire department, or Faith is right here in the front row and she can help you. And then I believe the chief has something. He always does, so I'll put him on the spot.
One thing, tentatively, I'm very tentatively, it looks like March 11th that we'll go live with dispatch. AT&T's been working nonstop for the last couple weeks. We're just waiting for them to patch the phones in. They've been testing them. So it looks promising.
You read my mind. I had that on mine. I've noticed AT&T and you had Comcast there. I guess
They've been out there. They're just trying to get our current phones to really talk to both the radio and the phones.
Right.
But that's it.
Very nice.
That's all I got.
That's a good update. We'll go ahead and move on to consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered and voted upon in one vote as one item unless a council member or member of the public requests individual consideration. Item 4-1, approval minutes, regular meeting, February 3rd, 2026. 4-2, approval, reject all bids received for completion of wells 7 and 11 TTHM project. 4-3, approval QK proposal for well number 15, project completion services. 4-4, approval purchase for bioenergizer from Huma Environmental. 4-5, approval QK proposal to update the city's NPDES Phase 2 Stormwater Management Plan. 4-6, approval budget creation for 311 East Street expenses. 4-7, approval indemnity agreement with QK for wells 7 and 11. 4-8, approval reimbursement agreement for oversized public improvements, tentative track map number 935, Lennar Homes. 4-9, approval lease agreement between City of Lemoore and Lemoore Gem and Mineral Club. 4-10, approval adoption of the City of Lemoore 2025 through 2026 state legislative platform. 4-11, information only, City of Lemoore Early Retirement Incentive Program, annual program notice. 4-12, information only, cannabis revenue collected through December 31st, 2025. 4-13, information only, quarterly review of transient occupancy tax collected Q2 fiscal year 2026. 4-14, information only, Finance Department update, January 2026. 4-15, information only, Police Department update, January 2026. 4-16, information only, Fire update, January 2026. 4-17, information only, Building update, January 2026. Would any member of council like to pull any of those items?
Well, my first request is it possible for us to take all the well information together?
Yes.
Okay, so we can just have it instead of going back and forth to the well.
So you want to pull 4-2, 4-3, and
And then the
4-7, and then just talk about them all together.
right. And then a discussion about the purchase of the bioenergizer and human environmental. Is that? Yeah, I'd just like to know a little bit more about that as it relates to, and I think the citizens would as well. And then this oversized public improvements tentative track reimbursements agreement. Oversides, I'd like to know a little bit more about that. And then information only, but you finalized the employment early retirement agreement. Okay, I'd like to see that and discuss that. And also, a information only, but hopefully a complete report on cannabis revenue collected through December 31st, 2025. And we talked about the transit occupancy tax. I'd like to have a update on that. And then on last but not least, the finance department update. We're finishing the 6 months into the fiscal year. We can kind of see where we're at in terms of budget and stuff like that.
So those are the items that you'd like to pull?
Please.
I'm pretty sure it's everything.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
it's
been
any-
easier to ask them
but
what it doesn't.
I'm gonna ask just in case. There might be like
This is
a
a
couple.
public meeting and this is the public's information to know.
This is a public comment right now, yeah.
So seeing none, is there anything that a member of the public would like to pull that has not been pulled already? Okay, so I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve consent calendar items 4-1, 4-5, 4-6, 4-9, 4-10, 4-15, 16, and 17.
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second the half of those motions, yeah.
I have a motion by Councilmember Brewster and a second by Councilmember Lyons. Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Lyons,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
All right.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. Let's go ahead and get the items out of the way. Was there specific questions that you had?
You said you wanted to pull that one.
No, it was just the wording was wrong.
The
For,
word's wrong.
for two, the proposed motion in the staff report was correct. It was just the title correction. So instead of saying authorization of construction management service, it should state reject all bids received for the completion of wells 7 and 11.
And how much were we over on the bids?
Good evening, council. My name is Neva Mesco and I'm here representing QK. Let me get to the right page in the staff report. So we went through the public bidding process, and the city only received one bid through FCOM 3. There was several mathematical errors, and that's why tonight we're proposing to reject the one bid. The total written proposal that they submitted was $3,265,596. But when we did the math and did the corrections the way that they should have done it, it came out to a total of close to $9.4 million. Because when there's discrepancies on the bid form, the words are the ones that supersede everything else that they write. So basing on the wording, the total is $9.4 million. So that's why tonight we're recommending the rejection of the one bid. The city, I'm not sure if what is the budget? Do you remember the budget number?
Esteban will speak to that.
Okay.
I think originally we had put in 1.7, I believe is what the whole thing was. Yeah, 1.7. And there's just discrepancy all across for the math and some of the things that were put together. I think the reason is we didn't have a whole lot of interest coming into the project for a lot of different reasons. And the one contractor that did kind of rushed and put it all together. And so that's why we're kind of asking to reject the bid as is, because we don't want to pay $9 million. And we want to go and negotiate with them because I think there's a lot of uncertainty that we can talk out of the project just by going through the negotiation process and bringing the price substantially lower and bringing it to within budget for what we're looking at for next fiscal year.
So just to
So you really don't want to go out to bid again?
Correct, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, sorry,
No.
I don't think it'll be real fruitful. It won't get us anywhere since we didn't have a bunch of people knocking the door down to bid on the project. So I think our best course of action is to go to the one interested contractor and do a direct negotiation.
So,
What's the status of those wells? Are they, that's a lot of money to spend on those wells. Are they in jeopardy of,
They're not operational.
Yep.
they're not operational,
They're
right?
not treated. Right.
That's basically like new wells.
so tonight, what we're asking is, reject all the bids received, which is only one. The second, motion that we would like to request is to authorize the city staff to negotiate with qualified contractors in accordance to the California Public Contract Code. And number three is to direct staff to return to council and present all of our results, of the negotiations, so council can approve whatever path we see most feasible for the city.
When you guys go out to bid, do you do a bidders conference? I mean, do you invite them to come in and
Yes.
talk? And you had no takers, huh?
Yeah, and we believe it's because it's such a specialized type of trade that there was a very low interest.
Right.
And we did talk with the specific contractors that we knew were capable, but they were very stretched thin with other contracts that they had, that they were afraid they were not gonna be able to perform within this year. And because of the state mandate, we need to continue working into getting these wells up and running as soon as
So
possible.
the other question I have is the failure of these wells. Was it because of no maintenance or what's?
No, just the completion for 7 and 11. The treatment.
Which is the one by the college and the one north
Right.
of town. They were never completed.
They were never commissioned.
They never were, huh? I remember us doing the work to get the land out there to do it, yeah. Well,
Yeah, so this is just getting it across the finish line.
so that was like 10 years ago. They were never
2020.
completed.
When the explosion happened?
Okay. The other wells are functioning okay though. Huh?
Yep.
So where do we get the money?
Yeah, so
So that's my question is like, why is their quote so far off? Like, what,
Sounds like it was a rush to get it done in the time.
but that's what
A lot.
scares me. If they're rushing to do that, what else are they gonna rush and what else are we gonna pay for? And it's not going to be worth you know what?
Yeah, I think a big part of it was their contingency line items, and they were just not being able to have a lot of surety of what the project was gonna be, so that's why we wanna negotiate, be able to walk this like with this particular contractor, maybe a couple others that are interested. We
So,
extended it once for an additional couple weeks because of the lack of interest.
so you basically want to go with this one contractor.
No, we wanna just directly negotiate with contractors rather than putting out.
It doesn't mean that we have to approve it. It's just
Well, yeah, I
authorizing
realize
them
that, but,
to.
I mean, that's a lot of money. But my concern is that, you know, why wouldn't you see if there's somebody else, you know, after you kind of, you know, maybe some of them have some of the same concerns about it, like there's not a little ambiguity in this bid. I don't know what we're gonna end up with, and
As the public works director stated, that their goal is to, once they can get a real scope of the project, that they think that that's going to bring that bid more towards our budget.
well, I heard.
But they
that,
don't know that until they
but
can
I
have
guess
that
the question
conversation.
is when we prepared the bid, who prepared the bid? What? No?
Yeah, so it was prepared
why
based
then
on
it
the
was-
punch list of items that were not completed at the time of that we stopped work.
So this item goes hand in hand with the other item with well 7 and 11, because QK did not prepare the plans. We are not the engineers on record. That had to do with the prior design engineer. That's what we're asking council for the indemnity, because they are not our plans. There's a lot of unknowns that the contractors see on those plans, and that's why we're requesting to give us the option of rejecting the bid. Yes, we will negotiate with this one contractor, but also with others. So we all can see the same thing, walk the site and be able to talk about, all the different questions that they might have.
Nobody answered the question the council member asked, where are we gonna get the money?
Yeah, so
I think you're getting vague answers because we can't really answer specific questions because these wells are involved in so much litigation.
Hmm.
So it is possible that there will be proceeds from litigation that will pay to complete the project. There's also a possibility that that doesn't happen. And so regardless, it has to be completed. It went out to bid years ago, when none of us were here. And it was never completed. And then we had an explosion and we have to complete it by the end of this calendar year to comply with state mandates. And so regardless of how it's funded, it's a project that has to move forward. And we have to get it through to completion and so QK agreed to help us complete it, but they weren't involved with it in the very
I
beginning.
understand all that.
And we went out to bid and then extended it because we didn't get any bids. And most contractors don't want to touch it because it was started as someone else's project and you're asking them to come in with an incomplete project and finish what somebody else started. So if we went out to bid again, it's just my opinion. I don't think that we'd get any new bids. We extended it once before. It's just something that not a lot of people are interested in.
So I always like to think of the worst. So where do we get the money?
Jocelyn, do you remember where that project was initially funded from? I can't see her.
yeah, I think, I forget what the numbers came out to. I think the numbers came out to 3 million, right? Just north of 3 million. And I think with being able to negotiate, walk the site, and do a bunch of other stuff that, you know, post control on what we've got going on, we can bring that number way down. And be nowhere near the 9 million that the wording came out to be.
I understand that, but nobody still wants to tell me where we're gonna get the money. I mean, are we gonna have to raise rates or?
No. So we've budgeted some money in there for the completion that we already have. We don't have 9 million.
Yeah.
Which is why we're standing here.
Right,
asking people to
okay.
let us-
So part of it you got funded.
Correct.
I don't mean to be picky, but how much of it you got funded? You got half of it funded? You got 3/4 of it funded?
Trying to get at is that we don't even have a number to determine where is that funding coming from. So right now we need to go through this process to come back with a number and say, this is what we can do, or this is what needs to happen. So we're kind of at a standstill until we move forward with rejecting the bids and solidifying what are we actually dealing with.
So let me try one more time. So what's the worst case scenario?
We don't know yet.
You pay.
Oh, they
9 million.
have some
You pay
idea.
$9
They're
million.
dealing with one right
Yes.
now. They don't have
The
the,
worst case scenario as it's written out is $9 million. Worst
That's
case
your worst case
scenario
scenario.
as numbers are laid out, it's just a little north of 3 million.
okay.
Yep.
All right. All right.
And so this item is just asking to allow staff
Allow-
to reject that and then negotiate. So if there is something that comes back, it would come back to council for approval at a
Right.
future council meeting. So nothing's
Look at
finalized.
hand. Good.
4-3, did you have specific questions about that?
That's the similar issue.
No, that's the 4-3 is the proposal from QK to just help us complete.
Gotcha.
complete the project, yeah.
And then 4-7 indemnity agreement with QK for wells 7 and 11.
Makes sense.
Any other questions or comments from council on any of these 3 items? Any questions or comments from the public on any of these 3 items? And I'll bring it back to council and entertain a motion, whichever that motion should be.
I motion to approve 4-2, 4-3, And 4-7?
And yes, that's right, yeah. Second,
The motion by Councilmember Lyons and a second by Councilmember Gornick. Councilmember Lyons,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
yes.
Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. Now we have item 4-4, bioenergizer. What was your question on that?
I got for that one too.
You're
Let's bring a chair.
You're gonna be the one after that. too.
Oh, okay. Should have brought a chair.
So tell us what this is gonna do for us.
Well, basically what the bioenergizer has done for a while now is reduce our sludge layer, so we don't have to
A
dredge.
little louder, please.
What's that?
Louder, please.
What it's done for us is reduce the sludge layer, so we don't have to dredge the ponds, which is pretty expensive.
What does it do for odor?
It has odor reducing properties also. Increases dissolved oxygen, which lowers the odors.
I referred a citizen to the Air Quality Board
What's that?
because they said they've called the city a number of times and they can't get anything up to good answers with respect to the odor.
We've had,
Yes, we've fielded several calls. And there's a lot of different reasons for the odor. And I don't think any of it has to do with the bioenergizer in particular, but yes, we have gotten several of those calls.
Is there, so they're not related?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public on the bioenergizers? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gornick, second by Councilmember Lyons. Councilmember Gornick,
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons,
Aye.
Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. 4-8, oversized public improvements.
What were the public improvements that were oversized?
True.
It's full in our Act 935.
Oh, yeah, these were all the sewer improvements. So everything on, there's a section on Glendale, section on Liberty, it was a gravity main and a force main, both connecting over to the station there on Glendale, and we'll be picking up everything going east or coming from the east and everything coming from the north. Specifically, right now, the shortest term project would be Sunset Vista Malone Park, which would just be connecting to that.
To that?
Yeah, we're not doing any of the infrastructure there, where it's just connecting to that. So, but we figured since Glendale was being extended and we're gonna have the road open on Liberty, that would be the time to put in those lines. And so that's what the bulk of this.
And that's the oversized?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And matter of fact, the one in Glendale wasn't even required by the subdivision or the force main, right? Or the force main. Neither one were required for the subdivision to be built. So we just are.
Because of the master plan.
Yeah, so not, it's not really an oversize. It's a completely separate install from what they're doing.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public on this item?
You're too welcome.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gornick and a second by Councilmember Brewster. Councilmember Gornick,
Aye.
Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Lyon,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz.
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. 4-11.
Yeah.
Was there a specific question about the early retirement incentive program?
So all of the individuals in these specific positions will be identified, or these singular positions? You might have multiple people in some of them?
Some of them, there are multiple people, yes.
Okay, all right. So you'll notify them and they have a month to respond.
Correct. Yeah, I think we actually gave them 2 months. We gave them from July 1st to August 31st. So this is informational only, so they will see it here, but it's also going to go out to all staff members, so they're aware as well.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Just a comment. My experience, 30 days is real quick if you're not thinking about it, if you get a notice, but at least
So
notifying all.
yeah, so they'll get a notice probably next week. They'll be informed, and then they wouldn't decide until the enrollment period, which would be July 1st through August 31st. So technically they would have from next week through August 31st to think about it.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Questions or comments from the public on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council.
Approve.
We have a motion by Councilmember Gornick.
Second.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Information only.
Information, sorry.
We're good. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. All the
Um,
rest of these are.
4-12. Did you have a specific question, or would you just like
I want to see the money.
Jocelyn
You want me that much?
read the report out loud?
Or lack thereof.
So for the first half of the fiscal year, and I apologize, I don't have a calculator in front of me. So our total cannabis revenue raising fee that we've collected has been a total of 254,000, and we budgeted 350,000. It's hard to tell at this point. I could do a little bit more research and come back how close we'll get to that number just yet. We do have one cannabis shop that closed down recently in the last month. So we will lose some revenue from
Which
them.
one was that? Yeah.
Base Camp, California Cannabis.
Okay. So we budgeted 350
Mhm.
is what you're saying. Okay.
Mhm. And we're at 250 so far.
Yeah.
Do we know why base camp closed?
They've had a lot of internal issues.
Are they gonna sell? Cause that's the one with the greenhouses out there, right? Yeah.
Mhm. I have no information on them.
But those
They-
are some nice greenhouses. And
They
are a lot of
requested from the
visitors.
state to remove their license, to revoke their license.
Mhm.
So the total budget was 350 for the year.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So we're probably gonna be short 100 plus.
I wouldn't quite say that. NHC and Valley Pure, it wouldn't be to the tune of 100. But I could get you a more accurate number.
Just showing the progressive trend of it going down and down and down and down every single year.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public? All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next items. This is item 413. Transient occupancy tax, that's also you.
Mhm. So for our transient occupancy tax, the second quarter of fiscal year 26, we collected a total of 59,000. It is a decrease over the same period for last fiscal year of 24%. I believe there was still renovations going on at 2 of the hotels, which likely attributed to it. One of our motels hotel motel was sold and changed ownership, so there was a dip, small dip in there as well over the period. Any other specific questions?
Any questions or comments on this item from the public? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to item 414, Finance Department update. Specific questions on that?
Well, we're 6 months into the budget.
Mm-hmm.
What's it look like?
I don't have that information for you just yet. We will actually do a budget presentation at the second meeting in March.
Good. Great.
So we will go over
Look
that
forward
for
to
you.
it.
Any other questions or comments from council? Questions or comments from the public? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. We have no public hearings, no new business. We'll go ahead and move on to city council reports and requests. Councilmember Brewster.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to congratulate Isaiah on being Employee of the Month. For baseball, we have locked in our opening day for March 7th at 10 a.m. Everybody's invited. We will be having the new varsity baseball coach who was a part of the Valley Championship team from last year throw out the first pitch. It will be a full day of baseball. We have our Deputy Sheriff Association golf tournament March 16th. And we will also be at the LVFD Fire Department golf tournament as well. And that is it for me this week.
Thank you. Councilmember Lyons.
Congrats to Isaiah, and I keep forgetting to bring this up. Someone that lives on Greystone, they keep asking me to have the street light repaired. I should have asked
On which
Isaiah
street
when
would
he
you
was
say?
here. Dang it.
What street?
Greystone Court. And I was also told that the Lemoore Surf Ranch sold, has new ownership. Do we know anything about this, or?
I do not.
That's a county business.
I understand. It's called the Lemoore Surf Ranch.
Actually, it's called Kelly Slater Surf Ranch.
It says Lemoore Surf Ranch
Oh, it does?
on the big barn doors as you pull up.
Oh, I've never pulled up, so.
I was just curious if you had any info on the new owners or.
I don't, but my son works there, so I can ask him tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Cruz.
Nothing on my table, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Gornick.
No, nothing for me.
Well, thank you guys for yielding your time, as Alex Walker would say. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a mosquito abatement update. I forgot to write it on my agenda.
Since our meeting is this coming Thursday, I sent a text to our manager and I asked him, we had previously scheduled for our loan to be paid off in February. So I said, have we paid it off? He said, yes, we sent it off last week. He sent me another text today that said we got confirmation that it was received and it will probably save us approximately $200,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's good news.
That is good news. Thank you, sir. Let's see. First of all, I just want to thank all city staff, all the departments, first responders, water, sewer, refuse, parks and recreation, maintenance, everyone, for the excellent job that you do, serving our citizens. It takes a lot to make a city work, and thank you guys for all that you do to make that happen. Also want to thank the residents of Lemoore for making Lemoore what it is. We're a unique community. So I think that's due to all of us and everything. Like we're just, I don't know, we're different. We're built different. We have a lot of volunteerism still. And I think that we're just kind of a more polite community. I hope we continue to keep that as we are forced to grow. Hopefully we keep that small town feel. Let's see. I did attend the Lemoore Chamber Luncheon hosted by the City of Lemoore regarding new 2026 laws for small businesses, networking and showcasing their businesses. Our city attorney was the speaker in that. Thank you for doing that. I also attended with the city manager, the swearing in for Hanford's new city manager, Chris Tavares. I also want to thank Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department for the invitation to tour the Leon S. Peters Burn Center during National Burn Awareness Week. I think they kind of surprised the department with a ribbon cutting for the burn therapy gym. They seemed a little surprised that that was happening, but they put a lot of money towards, the fire department put a lot of money towards making that gym a reality. So it was kind of nice to see them witness that ribbon cutting for that. And then I also attended the freeway dedication at the Kings County offices for Army Specialist Juan Miguel Mendez Covarrubias. The freeway sign will be located on 198 in Hanford. I think it should be up already. So it is okay. If you're driving down 198, keep a lookout for that. I also attended a webinar through the Red Cross called Be Your Heart's Valentine, and it was talking about how to stay heart smart and CPR ready. It wasn't a CPR class, it was just talking about the importance. So that was very informative. I actually met with a coffee group in Hanford. It's a Hanford group, which was interesting that I was invited to go over there, but I went. We discussed what was happening in Lemoore and our state and had a lot of good conversation. Also got a parking ticket. So if you park downtown in Hanford, make sure that you are not parked there 2 hours and 1 minute, or you'll get a ticket. Also met with the executive director of KCAG, Terry King, regarding housing element issues and the process of the clearinghouse, which goes through KCAG. KWRA, or Kings Waste Recycling Authority, will be meeting tomorrow for a request for information regarding the recycling contract. That's where they sell off the unprocessed source-separated recyclables that we all recycle. Current contract is with Mid-Valley, and it's expiring in June of this year. Their contract was a 5-year contract. They received 2 one-year extensions. So they're looking to go out to get more information on what else is available out there. CART has a special meeting tomorrow regarding the old CART office property. As you know, they have moved to the new transit center. So they have put that property up for sale. KCAO Real Estate Investment Committee, we reviewed investment policy, and that's going to go to the board tomorrow for their approval, which is basically what we're doing here as a city with our investments. So it'll be nice to see what happens there with their investment strategy. Finance Committee meets tomorrow as well, and then the board meeting is right after the Finance Committee meeting. So we also had the city county coordinating meeting last week. We discussed the housing element certification issues and the loss of funds and approved projects not moving forward due to the housing element not being certified. That is not our fault. It is a countywide consultant that is handling the housing element for all of the jurisdiction in Kings County. And it's falling way behind, and it's causing us to lose funding sources to help our residents either acquire housing, maybe do some repairs on their housing, lots of different funding that we're missing out on, as well as some affordable housing projects that we've already approved that are waiting to move forward because we don't have a certified housing element. So that's a huge issue for not just us, but for other cities as well. They're dealing with the same thing. We also talked about what's happening in Hanford, Corcoran, Avenel, Lemoore, and also the county. The Carnegie Museum is having a Kings County exhibition preview coming up. I'll be attending that. Hopefully, Mayor Pro Tem Gornick can attend that with me. And then the Cal City South San Joaquin Valley Division membership meeting will be happening not this coming Thursday, but next week, Thursday. The meeting discussion will be on RDAs. There's been discussion at the Cal Cities level regarding RDA and the loss of RDA and maybe bringing something similar back. So there'll be somebody there speaking about that at that meeting. So looking forward to getting that information. And then, as I said previously, I will be absent from the next meeting due to attending the San Joaquin Valley Voice 2026 Sacramento Regional Advocacy trip. So I'll be there with helping to represent 9 of our regional counties right here and the issues that we're facing. So that's all I have. And with that, we will, nope, I don't. I made a note here. I have a request if we could potentially, with consensus of council, look at possibly putting some type of moratorium on new cannabis for the city. I know that you guys have probably heard the same conversations that I've had about people's frustrations with what we're dealing with having that within the city limits, and maybe the return on investment was not what we were all promised. So to at least look at that and see what our options are. If I have one consensus.
Well, I just sent each of you an article on the largest cannabis farm in California, and which doesn't bode well for us. And that may be one of the reasons why these guys folded up shop. But something to think about, certainly, in terms of.
It'd be a study session.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Consensus for
Either
a
or.
study session.
Yeah.
I'd like a study session.
Study session on it, yeah.
I believe offhand that the ordinance for dispensaries only allows 1 per X number of residents,
12,
so
yeah.
we only can
12,000.
have 2.
That's what I was like.
Yeah,
But I think the part that we could all learn from, and future councils could learn from too, is I'd like to look at those agreements that were introduced and approved by past city manager. And maybe this council, I don't know. But my point is, we're at a point now where, we may not even, who knows what we were promised. And what we're budgeting for, I don't know, but I think it's certainly. I mean, I certainly would entertain anybody coming here saying, I want to put in a new cannabis thing. I mean, that would be crazy.
So I have 2.
Yeah.
I guess I would be 3. So we have consensus. Is it clear what we're asking for again?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Just a study session on.
to
future
discuss the
cannabis.
moratorium on cannabis in Lemoore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Fine.
Okay. So with that, we will go ahead and adjourn. Thank you all for attending.